I've owned a lawn care business for 10 years now. And in my first 5 years, we never really took off because we were missing this one thing that I consider to be an absolute game changer in business. And since we've implemented it over the past 5 years, we were able to grow to over $2.1 million a year in revenue. And that game changer is mentorships. Hey everyone, my name is James. I'm the owner of Yard Dogs Lawn Care in Canada. We make these videos to document our journey to becoming Canada's largest lawn care company. And in today's video, I want to talk about how mentorships was the key to help us go from a small side gig business that we only did in the summers during our tuition payoff plan because we were students, and how it's grown into a company that has over 17 trucks, employs over 26 people, and how it's going to be our vessel to becoming Canada's largest lawn care company. Mentorship has been key. I'm making this video today because my goal for you is if you're dabbling with a couple of different side gigs or you just start out your business, it can seem very overwhelming sometimes and it can actually feel very frustrating and very alone a lot of the time. But I was there, trust me. And after I implemented mentorships and actually being a part of peer groups for my lawn care business, everything changed because I could actually shorten the learning curve of what it took to adopt new things in my business. So let me tell you a little bit where I was, who I found, what key pieces of information they taught me, and how it helped me escalate to the next level. I've had a lot of mentors in my business career, but there were three in particular that really helped me take things to the next level. The first one was someone that did $10 million per year in the lawn care space. The second one was someone that did $30 million a year also in the lawn care space. And the third one was someone that did over $100 million per year, more so in the commercial lawn and snow maintenance space. And these three individuals were absolute key for me in different phases of my business. And what we're going to do, I'm going to walk you through each of those mentors one by one. I'm going to talk to you about how I reached out to them, and stay tuned until the end of this video. I'm going to help you put together your script for how you can reach out to some very key players in your industry so that you can ideally have them take you on as a mentee so that your learning curve can be shortened, cut in half. I swear this has saved me decades of time, and I want to share this with you. So like I mentioned before, this is my 10th year of doing services in the lawn care industry. And in my first 5 years, I was just a student at university, only doing this in the summer, and my business never grew. The most we ever did in a given year was $240,000 in a 5-month period for the summer. And that wasn't going to change unless we did something significant. And once we found this first mentor who did $10 million per year in the lawn care space, it really helped us kick off so that the next 5 following years, we could actually get to a business that this year, 2024, we're going to be doing about $2.7 million in revenue. So mentor number one, he did $10 million per year. And I actually read about him in a book. I was reading a book called Scaling Up by Vern Harnish. And he came across in one of the footers as one of the case studies they did. So what I did right away is that I wanted to meet this guy. There's no way I couldn't meet this guy because I always find it so crazy when you're reading a book and something really speaks to you. It spoke to me because he ran a lawn care business and I'm in a lawn care business. Therefore, it just clicked and it made sense. So I cold called him. And I think that's actually one of the first ways you should be starting out these reach outs is with a cold call. I'll get to that a little bit later in this video. Make sure you stay tuned to the end because we're going to put together a perfect script on how you can reach out to some of the key influencers in your space. So I called his office, and usually you don't get to just speak with these guys like that. You always got to go through the gatekeeper, which is oftentimes a secretary, a customer service representative, etc. I got a hold of his secretary and I had to leave a message, and which is what I did. And I went through a very specific way of framing myself just through genuine empathy and just being an honest, hardworking person that wanted to learn from him. And from there, I also sent an email and I asked his gatekeeper for an email so that I can actually reach out to him too. Through those 2 touch points, he responded to me. And when someone responds and is willing to give you an hour of your time, I put everything on hold and I paid for my ticket to fly down across North America to meet this guy on my dime. I covered the food, hotels, everything, obviously, because I wanted to learn. And I truly believe that if I could learn one game changer, the ROI on my plane ticket, food, and hotel would be exponential. And it was. Now, what this $10 million business owner taught me was that the integrity of your data in your company is crucial. What he means by that is over time, you want to have a foundation of a very strong CRM that is collecting data on your previous leads, your existing leads, your past customers, your current customers, and you need to have a solid platform where all of this is hosted, because that data, as long as it stays with integrity, is going to be able to help you build your business. And you also encourage us, pick a CRM, which a lot of your competitors are using, because those competitors one day are going to be the people that are going to buy you out. And if you have CRM A and they have CRM B, it's going to actually lower the value in which they can purchase you for, because for them to bring you on, they have to change the CRM. The foundation is different, and for them to adopt it into their business practices is going to be a ton of work, a ton of risk, and a ton of friction for your existing customers. Where if you have your one CRM and it's the same as theirs, they can just merge them together, change a couple processes here and there, but then continue business as usual. So he told us, listen guys, there's only one software you should be using in the lawn care space. And he had us move to that one right then and there. And from there, we are actually able to build a solid foundation for our business. Another thing that he taught us though is like, you guys, you're doing a lot of services. You're doing X, Y, Z, and like you're doing power raking, you're doing mowing. What are you doing? You've got to pick a niche. You've got to focus on just a couple of things. So that's when we really took the plunge to focus on our niche, which was fertilizer and weed control services. But we were still doing snow removal in the winter. And I will get to that a little bit later in this video, how another mentor actually told us to get rid of the snow. But that's coming up here pretty quick. So that $10 million a year mentor really taught us the value of building a foundation for having our data hosted and having a solid CRM that's going to be able to grow with us as our business grows. And the second mentor I actually found on YouTube. It was a small clip of him giving a presentation to his staff for his lawn care company, which did $30 million per year. And he had recently just sold it. And I was thinking, man, this guy, I've got to meet this dude. He was awesome. So I did the same approach. I called his office. I spoke to his secretary, left a voice message. I asked for her email. She said no, she wouldn't give it to me. So then I just tried to go to the source. I went on Facebook, couldn't find him. Instagram, couldn't find him. Went on LinkedIn, and I found him. So I sent him a direct message right then and there on LinkedIn, and I had a very humble approach. Like, hi there, my name is James. I actually own a lawn care company in Canada that does fertilizer and weed control just like yourself. It seems to me like you've built one heck of a company, and I could learn so much if I could just spend an hour with you. I was just wondering, do you think we could just jump on a call for an hour? I would love to meet you, hear more about your story, and I think I could learn so much from you. And he actually said yes. So we jumped on that 1 hour call, and that actually led into 1 year of formal mentorship where he taught us everything we needed to know on how to grow a lawn care company. So the second we met him, we were probably at $450,000 at this point. Within 1 year, we hit $1 million in revenue. And then 2 years later, we hit $2 million in revenue. And that was from a few key points that he taught us. First and foremost, he taught us how to market our services properly. He was telling us how every single offer you put out there needs to have a promotion on it. It has to be visually beautiful. The timing has to be perfect, because if you have the right offer, if you're doing 50% off your ice cream in the middle of winter, it is not going to work, regardless of what the offer is. And the fourth thing that every single promotional piece needed to have was it's going to the right list. You don't want to sell lawn care to non-lawn homeowners, for example, or people that don't have a lawn. You have to make sure that this list is very specific of who you're targeting. So he really taught us how to market our services, but he also taught us how to frame our lawn care services, not as an annual service, but rather we are a subscription. We are a service that continues year over year unless the customer cancels with us. And he taught us the way to communicate that to our customers, because this isn't something you do to be sleazy or hide behind some terms and services. There's a way to communicate this properly, because if you want to build a business, you need to have reoccurring revenue. Think about it. If you have Netflix isn't calling you on the first of every month asking if you want to continue with services. They're just keeping the services going. Your Costco membership, they don't just cancel you. Your utility bills, they don't just cancel you. They keep things going. But we're a company here in Canada that actually does lawn care 5 to 6-ish months out of the season. So it was much harder to implement this, but by working with him, we were able to adopt a good way to have services continue. And he definitely helped us keep clients and focus on retention as one of the biggest game changers. So that was a 1 year mentorship, but this all was only leading us up to what our $100 million a year mentor taught us. Now, believe it or not, he was the first one we met who did $100 million a year, because he was in the same city as us here in Calgary. I reached out to him the same way. I reached out to his secretary, left a voicemail, and then I left an email to him. And we met for coffee, and we've been It's actually Steve Wheatcroft. You can see him in the link below to our previous interview that we did with Steve, who did $100 million per year in his lawn and snow maintenance company. But what Steve taught us, the biggest game changer, in addition to so many things that I just don't have time to go over in this video, is that he taught us, listen, if you want to be $1 million lawn care company, start acting like one now. And that was interesting to hear, because at that point, we were only doing a couple $100,000 a year, like I mentioned before. But he said, no, you need to do your quotes like $100 million company would. You need to answer your phone like $100 million company would. You need to dress the way $100 million company would. You need to have your trucks look like $100 million company. You need to make sure your processes are dialed in. Everything you do needs to have a standard operation procedure, and it needs to be cleaned up like you're a $100 million company. Do your sales like a $100 million company, your marketing, your customer service, every department. Think go big or go home. And do you know what's kind of funny? It's by acting like $1 million company that we became one. And that's what he told us would happen. And now there were a lot of ups and downs during that time. Don't get me wrong. This whole video I know seems very rosy daisy, but there were lots of up and downs throughout the way. But as long as you're over time learning things and thinking about the long haul, things always come together. So those 3 mentors at different stages in my business were true game changers to us. And by the way, shameless plug, I just wanted to put it out there that if you're looking for help on 1 to 2 key issues in your business, I want to invite you to book one of our mentoring calls below. It's a 1-hour call where we focus on solving 1 to 2 key problems in your business. And we've done this for dozens of lawn care companies now, and it's been an absolute game changer. Everything that we've learned from our mentors that we've done growing a $2 million business, I can share that kind of interest and experience with you. So don't wait, please book one of your mentoring calls. All the proceeds go back to this channel to keep pumping out some awesome content. Speaking of content, let's get back to the video. So if you want to grow from a mentor, what you have to do is you need to find someone that you aspire to be. I want you to think, if you're a window washing company, if you're side gigs in pressure washing, you do prints, you mow lawns, lawn care, snow removal. It doesn't matter what you do, because I truly believe you can make money at anything, but you can't make money at everything. So you've got to pick who is it, which business is it that you aspire to, and you need to reach out to them. And don't be alarmed if it takes more than one time to reach out to someone to get them to say yes. And don't be alarmed if you have to talk to 10 different companies before one agrees to you. But here's what you do. I want you to make your list, your hot list of who you need to reach out. These are the companies you aspire to be. And you know that if you could spend a few hours with that company or that founder or that person, it would be a game changer for you. Make the list, and I want you to cold call them. And you don't just call them out of the blue saying whatever. You want to call them and be very, very respectful of their time and get right to the point. It doesn't matter when you call them, but when you call them, it should look something like this. Remember, you're never going to talk to the person directly. You're always talking usually to a gatekeeper, usually a secretary. So ring, ring. Oh, hi there. I was just looking for, and you use them by their first name. So when I called Steve, I wanted to pretend like I was a buddy of Steve's. Oh, hi there. I was just looking for Steve, please. Sorry, who is this? Oh, my name is James. I run a local lawn care company in Calgary as well. I was just wondering if I could have 2 minutes of Steve's time. Keep it nice, short, and simple, and they will usually say no to you at this point. No, I don't think that's possible. He's very busy. He's in meetings all day, blah, blah. No worries at all. Hey, would you mind just leaving a message for me? Perfect. I just wanted to touch base because my name is James, like I mentioned. I own a lawn care company here in Calgary. I've watched Steve's journey over the past few years and how he's completely grown such an awesome company. And I was honestly just wondering if I could take him out for coffee or maybe have a 15-minute phone call with him, because I know if I could have that 15 minutes, it could completely change my life. And I was just wondering if you could pass on the information there too, because I think it'd be so cool. I want to congratulate him when he's done. I know he's super busy, but if you could just leave him that message, I'd really appreciate it. They'll usually say yes to you like that, especially if you come at it from a very humble approach. And then ask for his email. By the way, do you mind if I send you an email, could you also forward it to him? And they'll usually say yes. If you ask for his email, they usually won't say yes, but ask if you can send her an email, then for her to forward it there too. Now, in that email, I want you to just be very candid. It's not about you. Don't talk about what you're going to get out of the email or the meeting. Don't talk about all the things you can learn. I want you to kind of flatter them. Hey, it looks like you've built an incredible business. Like, I can see that you're on this and this and this. And last time I saw your trucks, it looks like you had over 50, like beautiful. I just want to say you've built one heck of a business, and I would kill for like 15 minutes of your time. I was just wondering, by chance, could I have a 15-minute phone call with you? Or could I buy you lunch? Or could I come out and just spend an hour with you? It could change my life and my business. And I know you're super busy, but I would appreciate that time so much. You send an email like that, you leave a voicemail, and then I want you to go to all the social platforms and try to find them. And if you find them on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever, I want you to send them a DM that's very similar to your email, but just show that you're kind of following up. Hey, Steve, my name is James. I actually just sent an email, left a voicemail with your secretary, but I thought I'd just contact you directly to say, and then say what you said in the email, essentially. You've built one heck of a business. I am so inspired by what you've done, and I'm trying to do a very similar thing in this space. Now, reaching out to a direct competitor in your city might be a far stretch because they don't want to give you the secrets of their competitive advantage. But the killer is, if you're in a home service business, contact somebody that lives across North America. They can spill the beans with you because you're no threat to them. You're smaller, you're geographically far away, and they want to help young entrepreneurs because it wasn't too long ago that they were probably a young entrepreneur getting things going, and they have a soft spot for other entrepreneurs. So I'll leave you there. Mentorship has been the biggest game changer that we've ever had at our company because all it is really is shaving off time that it takes to learn something. I believe we could all be, a millionaire if we had a whole decade to work towards it. But the whole point is not being 100 and then finally hitting $1 million. It's like, how can I make that happen in 5 to 10 years? And you do that by learning the lessons that other people have already made from their mistakes and learn to adopt that in your business so you don't have to make the same mistakes. Alex Ramosi always talks about get the lesson without the scar. And that's what great books do, but that's also what one-on-one mentorships do for you. The way that I see mentorships is like great books are fantastic and YouTube videos are fantastic, but sometimes it is crucial to speak with somebody that is in your industry. So I share all of this with you because I know that if it could happen to me, it could definitely happen to you. We are not some company that has any secret sauce. We are not gifted as entrepreneurs. We are just people that know how to learn and don't worry and don't sweat the small stuff. We're not afraid to make mistakes. So be bold, find someone who inspires you, reach out to them, and who knows, it might just change your life and your business.